Hello there and welcome to Living in Provo, Utah. In today's video, I'm going to show you around the beautiful city of Elk Ridge, Utah. Specifically, we're going to talk about 5 pros and 5 cons of what it's like living in this beautiful town about 35 minutes south of Provo, Utah. So it's going to be a fun video, so make sure you stick around and watch it. We're getting after it right now. Hello again, and again welcome to Living in Provo, Utah. Today I'm taking you around Elk Ridge, Utah, a city about 35 minutes south of Provo, Utah. If this is your first time to my channel, Living in Provo, Utah, I'm covering everything about what it's like living in Provo, Utah and the Utah Valley area, all the surrounding cities. We're talking cities from Lehi to the north, Provo in the middle, Santaquin and Elk Ridge on the south, and every city in between. Look, I've got people reach out to me daily looking to make a move to the Provo, Utah area. I absolutely love it. So if you're thinking of making a move to this area, reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd absolutely love to help you get the information you need to make a smooth move to the Provo, Utah area. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, make sure you tap on that notification bell so you can stay updated every time I drop another video about living in Provo, Utah. So my pro number 1 for Elk Ridge is it's a gorgeous view up here. I'm at the main park they have here in town. You can see behind me I've got Mount Loafer and the mountain that they had renamed to Miracle Mountain. That's where they were able to stop the fire from coming through and wiping out the town back in 2018. So it certainly was a miracle and preserved the beautiful views of those mountains. And then behind me, maybe the video will show up, you've got a view of the beautiful Utah Valley, the lake, Mount Timpanogos, all back behind me. So that's your pro number 1. You're up here in the foothills of Mount Loafer. You're right next to Woodland Hills. So you're at a similar elevation, and it just gives you a beautiful overlook. I mean, just imagine sitting in your living room looking out over the valley. You'd absolutely love it. So this is a beautiful area for that. Great views here in Elk Ridge. So let's talk about one con to living in Elk Ridge. It's a little further away from everything. So there's really only one freeway that interstate that runs through Utah. It's called I-15. And part of it basically runs all the way through Utah County. It comes into Utah County at Santaquin, goes all the way up to Lehi, runs past Orem, Provo, Spanish Fork, all those areas. And so to get to that, which is your main corridor to get to a lot of the shopping and work areas, you've got quite a drive from Woodland Hill, or from Elk Ridge, excuse me. You're going to be at least 20 minutes, maybe 23 minutes to the nearest freeway on-ramp. The closest to Elk Ridge is going to be in Payson, and so maybe that one's 15 to 17 minutes away. If you're going through Salem and Spanish Fork, that's definitely going to be about 20 to 23 minutes to the freeway. So, and when it comes to going, taking your kids to school, you're just a little bit further away because there aren't any schools in Elk Ridge. There's no elementary school, no high school. They all attend down in Salem. So they're going to go down to Mount Loafer Elementary School. They're going to go to the Salem Middle School and Salem Junior High School, and then the middle school, the junior high, and the high school. So you're going to have a little bit of drive when you want to get your kids down to school, or if you need to go to do any shopping. So just something to be aware of. You're a little further away, so it just takes you a little more time to get to places. So my next pro for Elk Ridge, you can see back behind me, is Gladstan Golf Course. Now it's actually run by Payson City, so I assume that the property's in Payson City's boundaries, but you access Gladstan through Elk Ridge City. You come up Elk Ridge Drive and take it on up and down into the main clubhouse there, and it's a beautiful place to golf. It's a mountain course. If you can see behind me, you can see it's kind of the fall colors up there back in the kind of what they call the forebay area. The golf course goes kind of back up into those areas, so it's a beautiful course. You're going to see a lot of wildlife. You're going to see deer. I've never gone there and not seen deer. There's oftentimes turkeys running around the course too. So it's just a really beautiful course, and it's just right close to Elk Ridge. In fact, I see some people that just drive their golf carts from here over to the golf course. Okay, so my next con is if you're looking for a walkable community where you can just walk to work, you can walk to school, you can walk to entertainment. Well, Elk Ridge City is just not that for you. It's not really a walkable community. There's not any bus stops here, so you're not going to be able to pick up a bus here. You'd have to go down into Payson to be able to catch a UTA bus to get to anywhere. There are no grocery stores, no gas stations, so you're not going to be walking any of those up here for conveniences like that. So When it comes to walkability, this is just not a walkable community, but it's a great place to hike around. So my next pro for Elk Ridge is it's just a small town. It's just a few thousand people. Now it's certainly grown quite a bit in the last decade. The main part of town here that I'm in, a lot of it was built in the 70s and 80s, but there's been a lot of construction, like I say, in just the last decade. I'm guessing it's probably doubled the size of Elk Ridge from 10, 15 years ago. So it's growing, but it's still small. And so it just has that small town charm of just being a kind of a mountain community up away from the rest of Utah Valley. And so that's just one of the big pros, is it's just a small, beautiful little community. It's not too crowded, it's not too busy. So my next con is, and I already kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, but there are no schools up here. You don't have an elementary school, there's no high school, junior highs, so you've got to drive them down into town, is what we call it, or down into Salem, to get them to any of the schools. There's also a charter school though that is just right off of Elk Ridge Drive. That's probably the closest school to anything up here in Elk Ridge. So I mean, that one's actually pretty close. It feels like it's almost just at the bottom of Elk Ridge. So you do have that, but to get to Mount Loafer or Foothills or Salem Elementary School, you're going to be probably about 10 minutes here from Elk Ridge to get down to those schools. Perhaps a little quicker, but that's just one of your cons, is there's just not any schools at all up here. So you're gonna have to bus or drive your kids to school. So if you guys are enjoying these videos about what it's like living in Elk Ridge, Utah, I want you to like this video, click on that notification bell so that you can stay current every time that I drop another video about what it's like living in Utah Valley, and of course subscribe to my channel. And with that, let's get back to the video. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video about what it's like living in Elk Ridge, you might also enjoy my video about what it's like living in Payson, Utah, which is down off the hill just barely from Elk Ridge, or my video about what it's like living in Salem, Utah, which is also just down off the hill from Elk Ridge. So go check those videos out. Leave and make a comment down below which community you like better, Salem, Payson, or Elk Ridge. One of the amazing things about living in Elk Ridge is just the outdoor lifestyle. Tons of people just ride their ATVs and their razors through town. Up behind me, over to my right, let me turn around, you can kind of see it. That whole area is known as the Forebay area. There's a lot of mountain biking trails in there, hiking trails. People can access that through they generally go up on the south end of town and get up there into the Forebay area and enjoy that area. You can also get to it through the Nebo Loop road. So, and that brings me to the other one of the big bonuses here is, you know, when I talk about the outdoor lifestyle, you are just right next to the Nebo Loop Road or Payson Canyon, which takes you back up into that area right behind me, clear up high on the mountain up to 9,000 feet, looking out over the valley. You're up in, there's beautiful lakes up there, Payson Lakes. You got Maple Lake, you got the Payson Lake campgrounds, you've got Ponderosa campgrounds. The Black Hawk campground's still closed down. I don't know if that's going to come back, but I mean, and there's fishing up there. You got the little streams running out there that you can fish in, and the lakes that you can fish in. I've float tubed on Maple Lake and fly fished on there. So there's just a lot of outdoor recreation that's really close right here to Elk Ridge. And then of course over towards Spanish Fork, then you've got really close access to Spanish Fork Canyon, where you've got you can get up to Strawberry Reservoir or Schofield Reservoir. You've also got Diamond Fork up there with the hot pots that people like going to, and the fishing and camping up there. So when it comes to that, Elk Ridge is a fantastic base for just living that outdoor lifestyle. All right, so my next con is that there's just no businesses here in Elk Ridge, and that's done on purpose. They want to keep that small town feel to it, but the only commercial looking thing you have at all really is over here by me. I've got the city offices and the fire station. That's the only thing that even remotely looks like anything commercial, but there's no commercial here at all. So if you want to go grocery shopping, the closest grocery stores to you are going to be Stokes and Salem. You're going to have Payson Market and Smith's and Walmart in Payson. And then of course you got all the shopping district over in Spanish Fork. So it's just far from that. There's not even a gas station up here. So to get gas, you're going to be going down to, again, you'll be going down to Salem or Payson, or you're going to be your closest places for gas stations. If you need to go to a Costco or something like that, they've got one in Spanish Fork, but it's just not convenient that way because there are no businesses here in Elk Ridge, which basically means there's just not really a lot of job opportunities here. Most people are going to either be remote workers or they're going to be commuting into work. Now they do have a beehive home just down at the beginning as you come into Elk Ridge, and that's like an assisted living place. That's really about the only employment opportunity up in this area. Okay, so somehow I lost my original video footage of my Pro number 5 for Elk Ridge. So I'm back here in my office. I'm going to take care of that now. It's kind of something that goes hand in hand with my Pro number 4 of the outdoor lifestyle for Elk Ridge. And that is Elk Ridge is right next to the Nebo Loop Road. You just hop down into Payson and go up 600 East or Petite Neat Drive. And that takes you right into the mouth of Payson Canyon, which is the Nebo Loop Road. It goes all the way up and over. I think it's probably about 40 miles or so, but it goes all the way up and over the mountains and drops down into Nephi Canyon. The Nebo Loop Road is probably one of the most beautiful drives in all of Utah, in my opinion. Now, if you think there's a more beautiful drive than that, then make a comment down below and let me know what you think is the best drive in Utah. And also you can click on a link here and watch a video about the Nebo Loop Road and the fall colors that we just made recently. The Nebo Loop Road is absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful recreational area. There's lots of camping available on the Nebo Loop Road. There's paid camping, so they have paid campgrounds that you can go and stay in where they have some bathrooms and things like that. Or you can just, there's other areas where you can just pull off to the side of the road and pull down into the trees, the quaking aspens and the pines, and camp right there. There is a little creek that runs out of Payson Canyon. You can fish in there. They have several high mountain lakes up on top of Payson Canyon that you can fish in as well. They usually keep those stocked with rainbow trout. And of course, for that, a lot of the outdoor recreationists, for hunters and hikers and things like that, then there's just a ton. There's a lot of hunting that goes on up there during the hunting season, so it's a great place for hunters. Tons of hiking for all kinds of people. There's trails everywhere. You don't have to use the trails. You can blaze your own trail, but there's a lot of trails. And then for mountain biking, man, it is an awesome place to mountain bike. I've mountain biked on a lot of trails up in there, and it's a beautiful place to do that. One of the other things that I've done is ridden a road bike up and over the Nebo Loop Road. Now that is a challenging ride, especially for someone my size, but it's a lot of fun. It's challenging. The downhill is exhilarating. And if you go drive that pretty much any time in the spring and the summer, you're going to see a lot of cyclists that are cycling up and over that Nebo Loop Road. So that's just a huge pro to me, is the proximity to the Nebo Loop Road for Elk Ridge, and it really contributes to that outdoorsy activities that are available very close to the city. So finally, one of the last cons, and I talked about it being quite affordable in my pros here in Elk Ridge, and relatively speaking, it is affordable compared to, like, say, Woodland Hills, which is just right next door to Elk Ridge. But compared to, like, say, Payson, which is just barely down off the hill from Elk Ridge, it's just a little more expensive. And again, I think it's because of the just the desirability of living here. You've definitely got incredible valley views and mountain views everywhere you're at in Elk Ridge, and that just contributes to demand. People want to live here because of that. And because they want to live here, those house prices tend to be just a little bit higher than if you're down off in the valley in Payson or Santa Clara. All right, guys, so I appreciate you watching this video so much about the 5 pros and 5 cons of living in Elk Ridge City. I've got people that are reaching out to me all the time about wanting to know what it's like living in Provo, Utah, and all these surrounding cities. I absolutely love it. So look, if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, reach out to me. Make sure to give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email. I'd absolutely love to give you the information that you need to make a smooth move to Provo, Utah, or in this case, the beautiful mountain community of Elk Ridge, Utah. So with that, I'll catch you on the next video.